Richie, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for
Thank you,
joining
Chris.
us.
Thank you.
You're not one of the youngsters entering the game
No.
as such. Tell us a little bit about how you got into darts then, Richie.
Well, I played probably for about a year when I was 15, and I'm a fisherman, so that sort of took over. And I never played darts till 3 years ago when one of my friends said, come along and have a go in the local leagues, which I did. Really enjoyed it, and sort of went from there 3 years ago, really.
It must have been a whirlwind for you, because I'm really excited by you, Richie. I must say, I've met some amazing snooker players this week. I met Jimmy White, and I'm equally as excited to come and meet you just because of what I've heard of what you've done on the dartboard, on the hockey, and it is so impressive. Tell us about, it must have been like a whirlwind the last few years.
Well, it has been, yeah. I mean, as I say, the first year in the local leagues, I realised I was getting quite good, and I'm quite obsessive when I do something, so I practiced a lot, 3 or 4 hours a day. Got quite good, won the league singles, the 180s in the league, and I got asked to play for Super League in the second year, so which was quite a big step, nerve-wracking, but.
And then the Super League's gone on from there.
Super League's gone from there. I joined a team which was in the Essex B division. We got promoted. We won that league that year. Went up into the A division, and it's gone from there really. Played really well and got asked to play for trials for the county and played for the county. So
have you won matches for the county as well?
I've played my first. Well, I've only played 1 year in the county, and it's 9 games, and I've won all 9. So. Unbeaten in the first year.
Pretty ridiculous, this, isn't it? It's amazing.
I'm quite happy
it's
with
an
that.
amazing story.
Yeah.
You've entered some tournaments. Obviously, I hear you're averaging over. I don't know where that came from. I hear. Start that again. I hear you're averaging in some matches over 100. Is that right? I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
That is up at the top level.
Yeah, I've got the game in me that can compete with some of the top boys. Really, it's just a little bit now getting the consistency, and the thing is, where I've only been playing 3 years, I don't know what my peak is. I mean, it could be now, but it also could be I could get even better, really. It just depends on what I want to put into it. So.
And it depends what you can put into it, I suppose, because you're a cabinet maker, is that right?
Yeah, I've got my own business making bespoke furniture and cabinets, so obviously that takes a lot of my time up.
Get a little plug in there.
Yeah, that's right. So if I want to practice, I have to make sure I get up very early in the morning and practice when I can of an evening when I get home. So.
And obviously for someone like you, as talented as you, it probably seems as if it is worth doing.
Definitely.
But you must work probably 40 hours a week in your job, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sometimes more than that, really, especially working for myself. There's no set hours, and if jobs have to be done, they have to be finished.
So how often do you practice on a daily basis? Do you get to do a good few hours a day?
When I can, I try to do 3 hours a day as a minimum, really. Sometimes I might get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do an hour before I go to work. And then if I'm not playing in the evenings, which I've been playing most evenings, I try and put 2 or 3 hours in at least.
So some of the top pros, Phil Taylor will tell you himself, and he's proud of the fact, as he should be, that he practices 7-8 hours a day sometimes, but he can do that because he's
exactly
professional.
Right. And that's the thing. I think if I didn't have the worries and the pressures of work, and I was able to concentrate on my darts, who knows what could happen, really.
It does make a massive difference, does it? How 100%. Difficult is it for the younger players as well? Or perhaps, obviously, you've got a successful business and you're probably earning decent money, but for people who are not earning as good money and having to really battle to survive financially, how difficult is it for them on the circuit?
It must be unbelievable, really, especially if they're going to do a lot of the tournaments, because it's weekends and it's hotels and travel and food, and if they drink, it's drink money. So unless they've got someone that can help them out sponsorship-wise, I don't know how they cope, really. I mean, a lot of the players are
quitting the game, aren't they, to be
exactly fair. Right, because they can't afford to do it. I mean, I know some very good players that just don't go to the tournaments, they can't afford to. So.
Absolutely. So tell us about obviously your standards incredibly high, the statistics speak for themselves, but have you hit really low, have you hit 9-10 darters before in your life?
I've not hit 9 darters in tournaments. I've missed a couple of doubles, double 18 twice for a 9 darter. I've hit quite a few in practice, and I actually play set sets, so I don't hit the first one 80 and then hit the next one. It's always going to be properly at the start of a leg, so I've hit a few, So.
I mean, if I hit 180, that for me is I just run off cheering for ages. It's brilliant, but that must be such a good feeling, and to discover it in your, you know, having not played for 27 years, and then to pick it up again it must be almost like a new lease of life in a way.
It's fantastic, really, yeah.
And the success you've had as well.
That's right. My wife, who wasn't really sort of that interested in darts, she loves it now. She comes to all the county games, all the tournaments, and it's great because we're doing it together. And
she's seen you be very successful and winning a little bit of pocket money. I imagine that's quite
spends it all the time.
I bet she does, yeah. So if Richie Howson, if you weren't playing darts and being a cabinet maker, what would your ideal career? It's a bit of fun. What would your ideal career be other than that?
I'd probably be fishing constantly, I reckon.
Fishing, so you're a bit of, we've got a lot of sports people here, and that's good, isn't it?
I used to do a hell of a lot of fishing, like nights after work, but since the darts, I've not been at all because you've got to concentrate on one thing really, and it's darts at the moment. So.
And what if you could have anyone in the world, alive or dead, to around your house for dinner at night? Who would you have and why?
Well, that's a
bear in mind your wife's, your other half's watching as well.
So I better make it a man then. That is very hard. At the moment, probably at the moment, someone like Eric Bristow, who's been there, done it, big inspiration. It'd be just nice to sit and talk to him and probably Phil Taylor. That'd be nice as well.
Absolutely, and
because he's been there, done it, and you can't get no more.
Well, he's
experience in his head. Exactly.
So, what would it mean to you if Phil Taylor said, initially we were going to have an age limit on this competition, and I heard about you, and I've always thought about this, about someone who that initially when I spoke to Barry Hearn right in the beginning, I said there'll be somebody out there, and this is the honest truth. I said honest truth. This is the honest truth. I said there'll be somebody who hasn't perhaps not even picked a dart up who could be as good as Phil Taylor, and he laughed at me at first, but he was really interested in that concept. And I think for you, what would it mean to you if Phil said to you, right, I'm going to back you, I'm going to financially give you some money, I'm going to enter you in the PDC and mentor you and be your backer?
It'd mean the world, really. It really would. And to be fair, I'm not old, I'm only 45.
Absolutely.
It's obviously it's dependent on things like your eyesight and things like that. But if that's all good, I feel I could deal with it better at my age now than what I could have done when I was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Because
and a lot of players don't progress till they're in their 40s, and I think someone like Dennis Priestley is one of my big heroes, and Phil himself is now in his 50s. I think, that's right.
And who's better than Phil still?
Exactly, nobody. So there's a long way to go, and I wish you the best of luck, Richie.
Thanks very much, Chris. Nice to speak to you.
You too. Cheers. Thank you.